Mr. Walberg.
I thank the chairman, and thank my friend from Connecticut, too, for highlighting that, because it is expanding, because it works, and we need to keep doing that. Thanks for the panel for being here. Dr. Kimbrough, you've seen, I'm sure as I have, over and over again, the shortage of skilled workers, with employers just crying out for needed workforce. Could you explain more fully LinkedIn's finding that shifting to a skills-first approach would increase the number of qualified eligible workers by nearly 20 times, and I'm sure you have illustrations from the small business community on that.
I do. Thank you so much, Congressman Walberg. And let me just say that we do indeed hear from many, many employers who are looking for talent across a range of industries, from healthcare to construction, even manufacturing and retail. So it really is happening at this moment. Our findings that we could potentially expand the talent pool of qualified eligible workers by up to 20 times in the US is calibrated on the idea that if you look at just the skills that people have and you don't try to first filter for a degree, you start off already with a much broader pool of people. So if I start with a constraint of just a degree, I'm already restricting myself to only 37% of working Americans. And then I need to find the skills that I want. Yeah. But if I do away with that constraint, I'm starting with a much larger pool. And that's how we get, in very quick terms, how we get to a 20 times number. But it ranges from industry to industry. Some industries don't see as much of that expansion, but all industries do see some expansion of talent pool when we use a skills-first approach. And on the small business point, absolutely we have about 80% of our employers are small businesses on our platform. So they are definitely adopters of this approach.
Yeah. Well, that's my approach to fishing. I look for the largest schools and go for that. Dr. Kimbrough, you discussed also how LinkedIn found that matching job seeker skills to job postings specifically led to higher success rates and required fewer applications. The workforce system under WIOA is tasked with getting employed and underemployed workers into job opportunities. Can you explain LinkedIn's approach to matching skills with opportunities, and are there ways the workforce system could better utilize skills information to achieve that mission?
Yes. At LinkedIn, we have a platform that essentially enables job seekers to come and find employment. They can look privately, or they can signal that they're open to work. And we have employers who are seeking talent. And what we find in our data is that, as I said before, there's an increasing need to find talent, and a lot of industries are still struggling. I will add that we're starting to see job seekers come back with a little bit more interest in the past couple of months, so maybe the labor market is rebalancing. But what we see in our data is better matching. When we use a skills-first approach, you get a more precise match, a better match, and what that means, I'll put my economist hat on, is that we just have a more efficient market. It's more dynamic, it's more efficient, because people are moving around and navigating their career choices according to the skills they have, and not because they need to find a job with a similar job title. So it's kind of a win-win, and I do believe, lastly, as I said before, that it does provide a lot more access opportunity for many more underserved groups: rural Americans, veterans, women.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's what we want to see. Everybody participating. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dr. Smith, you indicated that 79% of HR professionals find scores on pre-employment skills assessments just as important or more important than traditional criteria like degrees or years of experience. How can directly assessing the skills of candidates through assessments lead to more effective hiring and relying on a bachelor's degree or proxy for ability?
Thank you for the question, Representative Walberg. I think it's time that we stop making the assumption that the only place to get key skills and abilities are through colleges and getting college degrees.
Parents, are you listening? Go on.
There are skills assessments to more directly assess these things, and I think that organizations should use them more and worry more about the skills and less about where they came from.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's going to be proven. I yield back.